Now moving ahead to process transaction. Here in process transaction, we have something called business exception, which is assigned to nothing, right? So because it is nothing, you can just drop another assign and say you can also initialize system exception to nothing, similar to what the RE framework provides, because it totally depends on how you're trying to customize the RE framework according to your needs. For our purpose, we need this. And then there is a XAML called process, which comes along with the RE framework. You click right here and you don't have anything, so just delete this, don't need this. And then the next task that we have to do is whatever information we were able to fetch from the queue, this thing we have to enter that into this desktop application that we have with us, and then click on result, so that we'll be able to get some information from this. Suppose I have something called Sharad and for the name Raju, and then ID 1, department A B C, and first semester, then marks say 1 2 3 4 5 6. If I just click on result, I can see the total marks obtained, the grade, so it's failed, the percentage 3%, and the GPA is 0. So this is what we have to prepare, we have to automate. Okay, so if I do it for this, then I have the other 3 records to be done. For that, then I have to click on clear. Okay, so this is how it will be reset to the new fresh values. So let's do that. To do that, what I will try to do is I'll get back to the code, and because I have launched this particular thing in this step itself, the initialization state, right? Now I'll go back to this and process. I'll take attach window. So this is what we need. Indicate on screen, and I will try to indicate this. Okay, once that is done, we have to start entering this particular values that we will obtain from this. But if you keenly observe, these are the values that we have uploaded to queue from this particular Excel, right? Cool. Now getting back to the code, first thing we have to do is enter the name of the person. To do that, use type into and indicate that particular screen. If you just go to the properties and click on this plus mark and go to the selectors, you can see it was able to select that particular text field, which is text name. Just try to rename this activity, say type into name. That is done. So whatever value we were able to get out of this particular get transaction data will be available to us in transaction item. In turn, we are passing that transaction item to process XAML. Here it is in direction. So it should be available to us in the arguments, right? It's available. So here in transaction item dot specific content of, so this is that particular column name. Copy, move on to here, double quotes, and just remove this quotation to string. This is done. So this should be able to enter the data into this. Similarly, we have to drag so many activities corresponding to these fields, which will be able to enter this data into these fields. So I'll be doing it behalf of you. Okay, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have to drag 9 activities, 9 type intos into it, and we have to make the flow. As you can see, I have spied all the values and tried to pass the father name, ID number, then the specific content, department, and then CS221 and all these values which are available to us. Okay, cool. So if you can see, I have something different to the other things over here, which is the semester value, right? If I just go back to this here, so you have a radio button available to us here. So you might get in semester 1 and sometimes 2. Okay, here the semester is 2, but you might get 1 also sometimes. For that to happen, what we can do is we can't directly spy one element and put it over there. Here, after department, if I just go back to activities and use click, sorry, click activity, and drag it right here, and then try to indicate that element, semester 1 element. If I go back to the selector, here I can see it's radio button 1. If I try to spy the semester 2, it's radio button 2, right? For so depending upon the input that we are receiving, we have to click on that particular item. To do that, just use if statement, drag it right here. If, just copy this text and paste it here and say semester. Okay, so just be cautious about the spellings. Okay, and once that is done, your toString equal to 1. Okay, equal to 1, then just copy this and paste it here, indicate on screen right here, click on this. As you can see, it is representing the semester 1 and it is representing the semester 2. So whenever it's 1, click on 1. If it's not 1, it should be 2, right? So it should click on 2. Yeah, so depending on the semester, we'll be selecting that particular value. So which selector? If it's 1, it's 1. If it's 2, it's 2. So with that, we are done with the data entry part. Okay. So now what we will do is, we'll try to put some message box right here and say reached. Okay. So and go back to this, and because it's wasted because we haven't done this anything to this, the bot should be able to pick this particular transaction, Sujit and Narasimha. I will let you know why we can't use this. Okay, but for now the bot will pick this transaction item and we try to execute it. Okay, let me close this and then come back to main and debug. So it was able to launch the application. and here just click on continue because it's trying to get the information from the queue. So this time it is Sujit, as we have already discussed. Sujit, right? Okay, go back to the code. Okay, see, it is trying to enter that particular data into the application that we have with us. Reached. So this is how we were able to enter the data. The next thing that we have to do is click on result like this and fetch the required information from this particular desktop application. Stop the debug